A very good evening and welcome to a Date with a Denis programme 236 on January the 26th. I hope this finds you well. What atrocious weather it is out there. Here in the south, we I think have had a lucky escape with the great storm from that Ireland and Scotland got, particularly on Friday. But it is quite blowy down here and quite damp, so to speak, and cold. It's always cold, isn't it? Phew. It is January, I suppose. Anyway, I do hope this finds you well. We have a lovely programme for you this evening. Well, we always have a lovely programme, but I'm particularly looking forward to this one for all sorts of reasons. But of course, we always start our programme with something totally unconnected, a bit of TV or film music to get us going, just a little 30 seconds as a way of introducing the programme. And this evening's bit of music you will know as the theme music to Terry and June. Terry and June. Yes, not sure about that one. I'm not sure about Terry and June either, brother. Yes, interesting programme. Harmless. Let's just call it a harmless programme. Harmless programme. The actual... So I'm sort of laughing at Terry and June. I don't know why. It was quite a good programme in its time. The actual bit of music was composed in 1970, and it was composed for the KPM, the Keith Prowse Music Library, and it's called Bellhop. That's its real title. It was composed by this chap who's still very much with us, John Carter, who composes under the name John Shakespeare as well. And he has a fascinating musical history. He is a singer, and he was the lead singer on that 60s song Winchester Cathedral, if you remember that one. He also has written lots of music for the library. He wrote the song Knock Knock Who's There for Mary Hopkin. Amongst other things. And he also wrote this little jingle. Challenge you to tell me what that advertised. But he wrote that one. So that's the composer of the opening music this evening, Mr. John Carter, or John Shakespeare, as I say, still very much with us and still writing away. I'll put you out your misery. That little jingle that he wrote, amongst many other jingles, was for Rowntree's Jelly Tots. Rowntree's Tots, please yourself. So there we go. So that was our opening one, the opening music to Terry and June, which appeared on our screens in 1979 and sort of gradually disintegrated away about 10 years later. It's quite a sort of memorable earworm of music. Which one is he in the younger pig? You think I know that? I believe he's the middle one, actually. But that's only a guess because it's a couple of days since I prepared that slide. So there we go. Yes, brother, that is exactly how it goes, and I'm glad that you dumpty-dummed it in the right key. It's very important in text chat, I feel. Now look, this evening's programme, again, just by coincidence, and I love these coincidences that happen, 4 out of our 6 pieces of music this evening all received an Oscar. Isn't that amazing? So some biggies there tonight. So I hope you will enjoy the programme we have for you. If you're with us live in the chat room, do chat away about the music of the composer or the context, or indeed what you're having for tea. Brother, you are excused from that because you already told us what you're having. It sounds absolutely wonderful. Anyway, do enjoy this evening's programme, and if you're watching on the catch-up, I hope equally you will enjoy it. I must have some coffee, otherwise I will sneeze. I've decided that's what will happen. No, I did had Alison. I had to nail it down, and now it can go back into its stable. I feel. Um, yes, of course. Because we had Lovejoy at the end of last week's programme, composed by the same person, composed by Denis King. So it only seemed right to have Galloping Home, the theme music to Black Beauty, which was composed in 1972. What an iconic theme. Hello, Janet. How wonderful. It was a pleasure to accompany young Jamie this morning. I owe him a text. He has texted me. I will text him after we go off air, but it's lovely to see you. Fantastic. So Black Beauty, 1972, that series came out, and then the further adventures, or new adventures, of Black Beauty in 1991. As I say, composed by Denis King, still very much with us. He lives in Walberswick. He is a neighbour of Barbara and Miles up in Suffolk. Yeah. Isn't it a fantastic tune? Oh, and I'd said at the start of the programme that 4 out of 6 of our pieces won an Oscar, which is quite amazing in itself. That piece didn't win an Oscar, but it won an Ivor Novello Award in 1973 for Best TV theme tune, and it is iconic, isn't it? We haven't had that for about almost exactly a year, so it's nice to bring that one in again. So I hope you enjoyed our galloping start to this evening's programme. If you've happened upon this YouTube channel and you're not subscribed and you'd like to be, please do join the merry throng. It is YouTube, so it is, of course, free to subscribe to the channel and to like videos and comment on them and share them on, which helps the algorithm to find us. So in the background, I'm very proud to say that my poinsettia is still alive. So that's not too bad, is it? Not too shabby. January the 26th, we had a near-death experience during the week. I nearly killed it because I made the mistake of, looking at it to start with and then touching it and then thinking, I'm sure it needs watering, and over-watering, and it went like that, and sort of I had to dry it out. But we're okay at the moment. It's still going. So let's see how long we can keep this one going. Yes, just exactly. So a bit more coffee for me, and then something a little calmer, perhaps particularly appropriate after the stormy weather. No, I'm not playing stormy weather, but I hope you enjoy our next bit of music. The reason for that, Alison, is the ones that have fallen off or you've thrown away. But it's still budding. It's a budding plant, and it's still currently growing. Let's see if we can get into February with it, eh? So, of course, as you said, it was Over the Rainbow. To give it its official published title, or Somewhere Over the Rainbow, the same song composed by Mr. Harold Arlen, and one of his most famous songs from the 1938 film The Wizard of Oz, of course. And that song won an Oscar, the first of our Oscar songs this evening. And I'm just reading your comment, Jill. And I'm now reading David's. I like it. I've not heard that one, David. Fantastic. Where do you go to wait? Pastry, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, way a pie. Very nice. I shall remember that to use in an inappropriate situation at some point. The reason perhaps for slightly confuscating some of you was that I decided to play the verse to that. And the verse is very seldom heard. Tony Bennett does it in his recording, but then he would, wouldn't he? Because that's the sort of thing Tony Bennett does. But it's got quite a nice verse, and it's a shame not to put it in. So 1938, that Oscar-winning song from Over the Rainbow, I think I've shared this before, but that song was very, very nearly cut from The Wizard of Oz. They had to cut about 30 minutes from the film, and they decided that bit was too boring. Thank goodness they didn't, because it was, of course, a wonderful song for Judy Garland. She sang it, well, let's just say, for the remaining 30 years of her life. It was her song, as it were. A very memorable song, very beautifully composed. And Alison, yes, I agree, the Eva Cassidy one was also a very nice take on a classic song. We've not had that for a bit, that one. And the last couple of weeks I've been talking about the AFI 100. The AFI, the American Film Institute Top 100 Songs of the 20th Century. And we've had a couple of them in the last few weeks. We've had number 8. We had number 2, which was, as time goes by, the one you just heard, Over the Rainbow, is actually number 1 on that list, on the AFI Top 100 list of songs in the 20th century. Oh, exactly, Alice, Janet and Alison. That's exactly why we're here, isn't it, on this programme, that everyone can sort of share in the commonality of music. Fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed that second one from 1938 this evening, Over the Rainbow. And just a little mention of the upload, which I put up on Friday. I'm doing a month of MICHEL LEGRAND, and the one that I put up on Friday was from the 1983 film Yentl, and it was that amazing Barbra Streisand song, Papa, Can You Hear Me? And I'm quite pleased with the way it works, even without the powerful lyric. So that is there on the channel. If you'd like to watch that, there is, as always, a direct link underneath this video description. So you just click on that, it takes you straight to it if you want to have a watch of the video that went up on Friday the 24th, which was continuing, as I say, a month of Friday uploads of songs by MICHEL LEGRAND. Excellent, brother. Glad you enjoyed it. It is a really emotive song, actually. It's a very, very powerful song, one of his finest. And that's also an Oscar-winning song and score, interestingly. A lot of Oscars going on this evening. Gosh, I've just thought of another Oscar, but later. Wow. I love these coincidences. Bit more coffee, then on to our next piece of music and song. Do enjoy. Indeed. Well done, Jill and Colin. And indeed, it was seconding from down in Herefordshire. That was the Oscar-winning song, You Light Up My Life, from 1978. So, yeah, another Oscar-winning song, composed by Joe Brooks. There he is. There's the main man with his Oscar. And there was a film of the same name, but the version which did extremely well in the charts, particularly the American charts, was that by Debbie Boone, the daughter of Pat Boone. And it actually is categorized, that song, as the most successful song in America of the 1970s, in that it stayed at #1 for 10 weeks in the Billboard. So that's quite an achievement. That and the fact that it was an Oscar-winning song, best song of the year. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Again, we've not had that one for a little bit. So there's lots to think about this evening in terms of celebrations and commemorations, shall we say. So for those that are so inclined, we'll let you off on this occasion, Jill. Yeah, you've made worse typos on this programme. Sorry. For those that are so... So I'm just thinking of one of your worst typos from a few... Anyway, last night was Burns night, of course, was it not? And so there was much oding to the haggis going on, and neeps and tatties, etc. Quite right for a billowy, blustery, blowy Saturday. It'd certainly be blowy after all that Swede, I would imagine. So that was, of course, yesterday, Burns night. And as an antidote to all those neeps and tatties and haggis, today, the 26th of January, is National Green Juice Day. Isn't that a vibrant, verdant vista of a slide? I rather like the colours within that. I think it's a bit enthusiastic, a bit optimistic, that people are going to do all that. I must admit, I will make a juice. Not quite as exotic as that, I have to say. You need not only the equipment but the space and the willpower to tidy it all up without sighing like a fool like I do. But it seems a very healthy thing to do to remind us to keep our New Year's resolutions of aiming to be healthy. So you heard it here, folks. January 26th today is National Green Juice. Oh, Alison, that'd be wonderful. There's a little hotel. Actually, it's not a little hotel at all. It's a massive hotel in Morocco that I go to occasionally. I haven't been there for about 5 years, actually. But as part of the breakfast, you can pick up any fruit or vegetable that they have on display, and they will sort of squish it and squash it and juice it into whatever you want. And so, I mean, beetroot and carrot is a favourite of mine when I go there. And it's always nice when somebody else has got all the mess to deal with and you just get handed a nice glass of it to drink, and then you can walk away from all the detritus that is left over with it. I'm still thinking about Jill's typo from 2021, but there we go. Yeah, so lots, as I say, to think about. Next song we've only actually had twice on the programme in over 5 years, actually. Is it 5 years? I don't really know, actually. Well, let's say in 236 programmes, we've only had this next song twice, and there is a very special reason for it. Brother, I've just seen that about Kermit. That's unkind. Enjoy. The Windmills of Your Mind, of course. Another another Oscar winning song, which was in the Thomas Crown Affair from 1968. And interestingly, that song was added after the first cut of the film, the director's cut. They decided they needed a song for it, so Michel Legrand was commissioned. And according to his lyricists, Arlen and Marilyn Bergman, he came up with nine fragments of song, and it was that one they chose, the Baroque theme, if you like. And the reason for playing that this evening is that today actually is the 6th anniversary of the passing of Michel Legrand, and it seemed appropriate to play one of his most iconic pieces this evening. So yeah, we've only had that twice on the programme. Yes, once disastrously, brother. I did decide to sing it, and memo to self: don't do that again unless you've got a huge reverb box and somebody on a sound desk to actually disguise what you're trying to do. But it is there. It's still on the channel somewhere. There we go. So from 1968, Windmills of Your Mind, as I say, to commemorate the 6th anniversary of the passing of Michel Legrand. As always, if you like what you are seeing and hearing, then remember to press the thumbs up button, and it helps people to find the channel. I know. The interesting thing, Mark, is that I thought it was 5 years, and then that's mainly because I'm rubbish at maths, but it just shows you how quickly time goes. So I make no apology that the next piece of music, which I hope you enjoy, is also by Michel Legrand. And again, perhaps it's appropriate to be thinking in this way. I didn't wish to correct you about the Harrison brother, and I got taken off track anyway. But it was indeed Noel Harrison that famously, very grumpily apparently, recorded "Windmills of Your Mind." So. So that Michel Legrand was, well, we know it as "You Must Believe in Spring." It didn't start off its life as that. It started off its life as the Chanson de Maxence. There he is, looking a bit sad there because he hasn't found the love of his life, from the 1967 film Les Demoiselles de Rochefort. Absolutely fantastic, ridiculous, bonkers, colourful, happy film. Worth a watch if you've not seen it. It's got subtitles. But then, of course, it went all Hollywood, that song. And again, Alan and Marilyn Bergman wrote a different lyric, a totally different lyric, an English lyric, and it became "You Must Believe in Spring," a very big hit for Tony Bennett, amongst other people. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed our little tribute this evening to Michel Legrand. And, of course, yes, quite. So yesterday was Burns Night. Today is National Green Juice Day. And tomorrow is, of course, International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And speaking of time going, it is the 80th anniversary of the Holocaust. So as we move into our final bit of music this evening, it won't come as a surprise what I'm going to play for you, but please enjoy. Indeed, the very haunting theme to Schindler's List from 1993, composed, of course, by John Williams, and it's no surprise that that score also scored an Oscar. And in our sort of Oscar-filled programme this evening, there was the other Oscar I was thinking of, Oscar Schindler. So I hope you have enjoyed this evening's music. It's been great fun, as always, to prepare and play for you. I do hope you have a very good week that is to come, and look forward to playing for you next week and indeed next month. Do take very good care of yourselves. Thank you so much for listening. Good night.